There are moments in the global fashion industry when one individual's presence alone can shift perception. Jungkook stands at that point. What makes his presence remarkable is not only how he wears a brand, but how the brand adjusts itself to his form. In today's image-dominated world, the ability to command attention through appearance is power. Jungkook has mastered that power in a way that places him beside one of fashion's most influential figures, Kendall Jenner. When Jungkook walks into a frame, there is a balance between subtlety and authority. His physical presentation is calculated but natural, a visual expression that merges aesthetic with precision. It is the same kind of control Kendall Jenner exhibits when she steps onto a runway or into a campaign. Both figures communicate beyond clothing. They redefine what modern beauty represents through posture, gaze, and energy. But Jungkook's approach carries something distinct. An equilibrium between masculine strength and cinematic softness that appeals across boundaries of gender and culture. The public tends to measure influence through scale followers, engagements, sales, but the truest measure lies in reaction. Jungkook's appearance triggers not just admiration, but adaptation. Brands evolve their visual direction once he wears them. Calvin Klein's global image, for instance, experienced a renewed tone of minimalism, mixed with allure the moment Jungkook became its central figure. His visual narrative extends beyond modeling. It's transformation. The frame adjusts around him, not the other way around. That is the exact visual command that makes him equal to Kendall Jenner. Kendall's image has long been a global standard for fashion, precision, elegant, confident, structured. Yet Jungkook brings a different rhythm into the same conversation. His appearance is not built solely on aesthetics, but on timing. Every public sighting, every campaign release, every airport look feels deliberate without being staged. There's awareness in the way he curates his visuals, but it never feels forced. That blend, effortless yet strategic, is what transforms an idol into a fashion authority. He carries a quiet dominance that doesn't depend on exposure. Kendall's visual presence often operates in constant spotlight. Jungkook's operates in precision intervals. He appears less, but each appearance multiplies in impact. That scarcity amplifies his visual worth. The fewer moments he allows, the more control he has over narrative. Each time he shows up, fashion shifts. Each time he leaves, the absence becomes a statement. That rhythm has made his image function at the same level of influence as Kendall's global standard. What makes Jungkook's appearance different is how it merges accessibility and exclusivity. He doesn't distance himself from the public gaze, he shapes it. His visuals feel reachable, yet unattainable at the same time. There's no visible separation between his identity as a performer and as a fashion symbol. The two coexist. Kendall's power lies in refinement. Jungkook's lies in fluidity. He doesn't just wear a concept, he becomes the concept. Every campaign that features him eventually aligns its aesthetic to his image tone. Subdued lighting, monochrome palette, and physical ease that reflects quiet control. It's not imitation, it's absorption. The fashion lens adapts to his rhythm. The conversation about beauty in the modern era has moved away from static ideals. It now focuses on authenticity, expression, and power of presence. Jungkook's appearance fits seamlessly into this shift. He doesn't embody the conventional image of a male model. He redefines it. His structure, clean lines, balanced proportions, expressive eyes creates a look that transcends gender-coded beauty. This neutrality is not a trend. It's the foundation of future aesthetics. And that is where his equality with Kendall Jenner becomes undeniable. Both embody the new visual language. Beauty as balance, identity as art. There is also precision in how Jungkook handles visibility. He doesn't overexpose. Each visual release, whether it's a campaign, an airport sighting, or a live performance, feels intentionally paced. It's a technique often seen in luxury fashion communication. Less frequency, more depth. Kendall's exposure relies on momentum. Jungkook's relies on moment. When he appears, the public re-evaluates not just how he looks, but what he represents. He carries an understated theatricality, no exaggerated movements, no forced poses, only presence. That's the kind of presence fashion icons are built on. What separates an influencer from an icon is the ability to control aesthetic context. Jungkook understands that fully. The lighting, the fabric, the frame, and even the rhythm of his motion within that frame, it all aligns with a cohesive visual identity. There's no randomness in how he appears. Even casual sightings carry structured energy. The way Kendall's off-runway looks still feel editorial. For both, the body becomes a medium of design, but Jungkook's body language introduces something softer, almost cinematic, which deepens his connection to audiences beyond the surface of fashion. There's a distinct silence in Jungkook's visuals that communicates louder than statements. His expressions are never exaggerated, yet they hold impact. This quiet control is not absence of confidence, it's refinement of it. In a generation where everyone competes for visual noise, Jungkook's approach of minimal gesture feels revolutionary. It recalls the golden age of fashion icons who could hold attention by doing less. Kendall represents that same school of control in her own way, but Jungkook adds emotional architecture to it without ever needing to declare it. His equality with Kendall Jenner is not about comparison, it's about parity of visual influence. Both command cultural space through form, presence, and image discipline. Jungkook's discipline is evident in his constant refinement. There's evolution in his visuals. The shift from boyish aesthetics during early BTS years to mature, structured elegance in his solo era. Each transformation aligns with the evolution of modern luxury branding. Calvin Klein didn't just choose him as a face, they chose him as a direction. That decision reflects how his appearance now functions as a mirror for what the industry wants to be. Clean, youthful, but deeply composed. His global reach doesn't rely solely on music. It's visual magnetism that opens doors even outside performance contexts. When people see him in a campaign, they don't only see a celebrity, they see design, proportion, and mood. That's the point where an entertainer transcends into a fashion identity. Jungkook's appearance has entered that realm. The alignment with Kendall Jenner's level of fashion relevance is not a stretch, it's a reflection of the current hierarchy. Both hold power not because of what they do, but how they appear doing it. When Jungkook appears in public, the focus isn't on extravagance but on silhouette. His look plays with contrast soft fabrics against sharp lines, muted tones against luminous skin. This aesthetic has defined the new male luxury narrative. It's not about dominance or aggression, but subtle allure. The world once saw male fashion icons as embodiments of strength. Jungkook reshapes that into balance. That reinterpretation places him at the same visual influence plane as Kendall Jenner, who mastered the female equivalent assertive grace. Another key aspect that elevates Jungkook's visual parity with Kendall is adaptability. His appearance fits into any visual environment without losing identity. Editorial, streetwear, formal, minimal, each version feels natural, not performed. That chameleon quality mirrors Kendall's success across different brands and styles. Yet Jungkook's version carries narrative depth. There's a quiet story behind every frame. You sense his awareness of camera, of light, of time. It's a studied simplicity that reads effortless but is built on precision. Modern fashion demands more than appearance, it demands visual leadership. Jungkook's style decisions subtly lead audiences into new tastes. His hair changes create trends, his fits set tone, his accessories reframe how male idols present elegance. Kendall's trajectory follows the same influence arc, but Jungkook's impact travels across different industries, music, fashion, digital culture without fragmentation. Each realm feeds into the other, forming a unified aesthetic brand around him. That unity is what global icons share. Even beyond the campaign frames, Jungkook maintains aesthetic consistency. He doesn't let casualness dissolve his visual control. The airport, the rehearsal studio, or a music video, every environment reflects the same core identity: clean, refined, and balanced. That discipline in visual narrative makes him equal to the world's top models. Kendall's genius lies in never breaking aesthetic continuity. Jungkook's genius lies in doing it without effort visible to the audience. The power of appearance lies not in beauty, but in recognition. People recognize Jungkook not just by face, but by silhouette, by the tone of an outfit, by the calm in his posture. That level of recognizability is what fashion calls iconic design. Jungkook has achieved it through himself. No costume or label defines him, he defines the look. The same quality makes Kendall Jenner the standard bearer for modern runway aesthetics. Their equality is not symbolic, it's measurable in how their presence alters fashion's collective perception. If one examines the global reaction to Jungkook's Calvin Klein campaigns, the pattern is clear: engagement driven by fascination, not familiarity. People don't just look, they observe. The lighting, the texture, the body language, it all holds attention because Jungkook occupies the frame as if he designed it. That level of visual authorship is rare, even among professional models. It's why brands now position him not as an ambassador, but as an image architect. He doesn't adapt to branding. Branding adapts to him. That's the ultimate proof of equality with a supermodel like Kendall Jenner. What makes Jungkook's visual identity profound is its ability to blend strength and stillness. There's tension and calm in every expression. The contrast between motion and restraint becomes art. You don't see a celebrity posing, you see someone designing with his presence. And that's where modern fashion's highest echelon exists, where form becomes message. Jungkook has reached that echelon. He's not chasing Kendall Jenner's lane, he's sharing it. The conversation has moved beyond who wears better or who sells more. It's about who defines the direction of aesthetics, Jungkook does. His appearance reshapes expectations of male representation in global campaigns, merges Eastern minimalism with Western refinement, and builds a language of visual luxury that no longer depends on gendered rules. In that field of pure visual command, Jungkook stands not beside Kendall Jenner by coincidence, but by design. Another layer that strengthens his equality with Kendall is control through restraint. Fashion often celebrates excess, but Jungkook builds impact through minimalism. Black denim, plain shirts, bare expression, he turns simplicity into narrative. The fewer elements he uses, the stronger the visual outcome becomes. Kendall's most iconic campaigns function the same way. Stripped visuals that let presence dominate design. Jungkook's visual strategy mirrors that, consciously or not, and it works across continents. The world's shift toward authenticity finds its center in figures like Jungkook. His looks don't feel performed, they feel present. His visual story isn't about perfection, it's about control. There's quietness even in bold campaigns. He embodies the modern paradox: intensity without aggression, vulnerability without weakness. Kendall Jenner achieved the same through composure. Jungkook achieves it through equilibrium. That's why both belong to the same visual echelon icons who communicate through silence. He also understands how to blend celebrity with art. For most entertainers, brand campaigns feel separate from performance identity. Jungkook merges them. His fashion presence carries the same intensity as his stage energy, but filtered through elegance. The result is cohesion. Everything about him feels connected. From music videos to photo shoots, from airport looks to global campaigns, there's a single through line: refinement. That unity of image builds trust in perception, the same foundation that supports Kendall's fashion longevity. In an industry where many depend on styling to look remarkable, Jungkook depends on proportion and presence. He has a frame that carries design, naturally broad shoulders, narrow waist, straight posture, fluid movement. These are details the fashion world studies carefully, and Jungkook possesses them inherently. But beyond form, his control over tone, how he looks at the camera, how he uses silence, defines him as an artist of presence. Kendall Jenner once symbolized the global face of effortless confidence. Now, Jungkook embodies the global face of balanced charisma. They represent two hemispheres of the same visual world: Western minimalism and Eastern refinement. Yet Jungkook doesn't imitate, he redefines. His look feels timeless, but his tone feels current. That duality positions him not behind Kendall, but beside her. Each time Jungkook appears, a cultural ripple follows. Fashion media adjusts their color grading, brands adjust their casting tone, audiences adjust their sense of beauty. That is the ultimate marker of equality. Influence measured not by exposure, but by adaptation. When the world starts to shift around your image, you have reached icon territory. Jungkook is there.